Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today is Thursday on our channel and we've got to talk about the latest rumor that Henry Cavill will be joining the Star Wars universe. So let's jump right into it. Alright, so we've got to talk about this because Henry Cavill joining the Star Wars universe is an absolute game-changing moment because a lot of people were very divisive on the last couple of Star Wars projects, and that's perfectly okay if you're one of those people. Not everyone liked the sequel trilogy, and if you aren't a fan of the Rey character, then congratulations. The Rey sequels that were scheduled to be made have now been canceled. But if you are a fan of Rey, don't fret because the Star Wars universe is a big universe and I fully expect those stories to continue in some capacity at some point. Maybe not on the big screen, but in books, comics, and other ways that we've seen Star Wars legends grow. Remember that in the original Star Wars universe, while Luke was a very much loved character, he didn't really catch on with a lot of readers, with a lot of comic book fans until the Star Wars comic books started coming out. That got more people interested in the Star Wars movies than actually had originally watched the first one. And throughout the years, the legends grew. Everyone started talking about the character until Luke Skywalker became the icon he is. So don't count Rey out just yet. However, it is a good thing that they are taking a break from the character. I feel like they kind of reached their limit as to what they could do with that character at this given time. However, this news is big because supposedly the new trilogy movies will take place years and years after the events of the sequel. It's kind of another quasi-soft reboot, if you will. But this time, one of the people that is rumored to be a part of it is actually going to be none other than Superman from the DCEU, Henry Cavill. And this comes to us from comicbookmovie.com. It says, could our previous big screen Superman take flight in the galaxy far, far away? Last week, news broke that Lucasfilms is developing a new Star Wars trilogy with Simon Kinberg of the Dark Phoenix X-Men movie tapped to write and produce all three films. And the new rumor claims that none other than Henry Cavill has met with Lucasfilms about a potential role. Henry Cavill has appeared in a number of major comic book and sci-fi franchises over the years, playing the Man of Steel in the DCEU and a Wolverine variant in this year's Deadpool and Wolverine. He also is the lead role in the Highlander reboot, and there were rumors that he might yet play another character in the MCU. Henry Cavill has appeared in so many of these wonderful franchises we've come to love. It's not surprising that Henry Cavill would be a part of the new Star Wars universe because Henry Cavill is a fan. He is a fan of the Star Wars franchise. He has made this abundantly clear throughout the years, oftentimes stating how much he liked all of these sci-fi franchises and would love to be a part of all of them. Now, initially it says that this movie was going to continue the Skywalker series with 10, 11, and 12, but this has been disputed now. Although there is still the rumor that somehow Rey may be involved, it's going to be in a much smaller capacity, and this rumor can now sort of be debunked because this is going to be so much farther in the future. And that's kind of what's being said now, that this is going to take place so much farther in the future that Rey couldn't possibly be in it. But we'll see how they do that. Now, this is what Henry Cavill had to say about his appreciation of Star Wars, according to comicbook.com. And he said this several years ago, but he is still very much supposed to be rumored to be in talks with them now. So what he had said was, I am a fan of them. I would have to read the script and speak to the director before I could possibly say if I'd be interested in being in a movie. It's not as simple as you know. Yes, it would be fun and ideal, but what if the script sucks? You've got to keep your fingers crossed that it works. Now, Kinberg had made his directorial debut with The Dark Phoenix, and has gone on to helm several other projects. So he's been deemed a very good pick. He's very trustworthy. He loves the Star Wars franchise apparently as well. So this looks to be a fun little movie. This looks to be a fun new look at the trilogy. The filmmaker has also written and produced a number of very successful projects, including the Deadpool and Wolverine. As far as the Star Wars universe goes, he was a co-creator on the Star Wars series Rebels alongside Dave Filoni and Carrie Beck. He was also a consultant on The Force Awakens. So that is a good thing because The Force Awakens was one of those movies that everybody did seem to enjoy. It was a solid entry in the Star Wars universe, and if you didn't like that, you probably still liked Rebels. So this is a very good thing that he is chosen to go forward with this project. You want people who know the universe that's been built. You want people that know what's going on within the Star Wars universe. And now to get announced that they are bringing in people that everyone's going to really love seeing. All of the people who loved Henry Cavill as the character of Superman are going to love the fact that he's playing a character in this new Star Wars trilogy, because chances are he will be playing a good guy. It is possible he could play a bad guy. He certainly has the look and acting chops to pull off a very awesome bad guy, but he doesn't necessarily have to play a bad guy. So if you're like me, you don't mind the idea of him playing a Sith. However, it stands to reason that he'll probably play a Jedi, and an experienced one at that. Being that this is set so many years after the Skywalker saga, it only stands to reason that we will get something that is brand new with all new characters, and you can have this experienced Jedi who's already been trained. Now, if they do choose to put her in it, then it makes no sense for him to be a Jedi. So that's another reason I think with him being involved that we're looking at the possibility of him being a Jedi and Rey Skywalker not being any part of it. So that should be good for some fans, but like I said earlier in the video, you just kind of have to look for her to reappear where she appears, because I'm sure we'll get more stories involving her, just like I'm sure we'll get more stories involving Luke Skywalker and every other character we've seen and met so far. Star Wars is a vast universe that continues to grow, and adding an actor like him to the mix to portray some character that we're getting to meet is super exciting news. I so hope that this turns out to be true. Now, this is still sort of at the stage meant to be a rumor, but I think we can look at this in a more positive way because this looks like it could be true. I think we could actually take this with a slightly more of a grain of salt if this project continues along. Audiences would absolutely love to see him in a role like this. So having him be that character, having him come into this franchise, I think is a win-win. Now, the only question is, will this project move on? And what does this project entail exactly? Well, if it's set so many years in the future, like I said, the sky is the limit as to what they can do. And bringing him in, I think, kind of solidates this as a plan. And as a company, you always want an actor that is willing to be a part of it, that actually wants to be a part of it. And you want an actor who wants a good script. You want an actor that wants to perform well and wants a script that they can be proud of, because all that goes into making your project great. And I feel that this is something that Star Wars has desperately needed in the past couple of years. They really did need this to happen. They needed someone like Henry Cavill to talk to, someone that's a fan who wants to put out something great, because now it's looking up. And I'm actually thrilled that they went with this rather than go with the continuation of the Skywalker arc. I like the Skywalker story, but I feel like we've been there and done that, and I, for one, am completely ready to meet new characters. And then you have this director. This is a director they've worked with before. This is someone that has helped them create the Star Wars franchise we know. So with this project looking more like it will go through, like it is something that will happen, I have some faith in this as a rumor. I have some faith that we could get to see Henry Cavill in Star Wars sooner rather than later. Now, of course, this project is still a year or so off the map because they do have to write a script, they do have to get everything working, then they have to showcase. But it is important to note that the rumor states he's in talks with them, and this is exciting news, and that's why we brought this information to you today. But that is where I'm going to leave it off to you guys. I want to know what you guys think about all this because I want to know, are you excited about this trilogy? Do you think that this trilogy will go forward? Do you think that Henry Cavill being in talks with them is a good thing? Would you like to see him play a bad guy, or would you like to see him as one of the good guys? And what about a Jedi? Would you love to see him as a Jedi? As always, we want to hear from you guys. Make sure you're leaving us that comment in the comment box below. Make sure you share this video with all of your friends. They're going to want to be a part of this conversation as well. And then hit that like button. It's free. It helps the channel. We appreciate it. Miko says we need more subscribers. And you don't want to disappoint Miko, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell while you're down there so you don't miss a single video we do. And then friends, at the end of the day, I know it, you know it, and Miko knows it, fandom is family.